A client asked me this morning, Rachel, how do you hear from God? And honestly, there's no manual to hearing from God. Apart from that, you can hear God from the word. But most of the times, our expectations on how God answers is what keeps us stuck. So this morning, we have a prayer group that we pray every day at 3 a.m. And usually, before I go to bed, I prepare myself a verse that is going to guide us in prayers. And yesterday, I just slept. I did not plan anything. I was so very tired. So I just slept. In the morning, unusually, I woke up very dusty. Very dusty. I have never woken up that dusty. So I went straight to my dispenser and I poured a glass of water. And the moment that water hit my mouth, I went to spit it in the sink because it was neither hot nor cold. I forgot to switch on the dispenser. So the water was not cold, it was not hot, and especially because I live in Mombasa where it's so hot in here, right? So I went to spit the water in the sink, and the Lord reminded me of the verse of lukewarmness. And I went to the Bible in the book of Revelations, chapter 3, from verse 15. It talks about lukewarmness. And as I read that chapter, I started meditating upon it and praying about it. And when we went to prayer, that was our guidance this morning. We were praying against lukewarmness, being partial Christians, that we obey when we want, we don't obey when it doesn't suit us. Today we do what we want, we are leaning on our own understanding, and tomorrow we are trying to hear from God. So we were praying against lukewarmness. My point is, most of the times, the way we expect to hear God might be very different from how God is going to answer. For me, from my experience, God talks to me in so many ways, in ordinary ways, actually, very ordinary things that I'm doing in my daily to daily life. I might be cooking and something pops up in my mind. I might be doing laundry. I might be talking to someone and something just clings to my mind. I might be reading the word and God speaks so strongly from the word. Or I will be in prayer or meditation or just walking. I see a tree and I remember something and it turns out to be a prayer point. So many of the times are when we experience God in different ways. But if you are not discerning, you will not hear God because there is how you expect Him to speak to you. God can speak in so many things. When you look at nature, you can see God. When you look at His people, you can see God. When you read the word, you can see God. When you are in prayer, you can see God. You can even hear God. So I was telling my client today that when you go into the presence of God, go empty. Because when you already have targets and goals and expectations, you might be blinded because your goal is for God to answer you in accordance to what you want, to how you expect. But when you are empty, God can speak to you in so many ways because God speaks. He is constantly speaking. He's constantly speaking to us. So this is for you. If you feel like you don't know how to hear from God, you have prayed for some time and you can't hear from God, start from checking what is happening around you. That might be an answer. Check what is happening around. Check how you are interacting with people. Check the thoughts that comes to your mind. Check what is drawing you closer and closer. That might be your answer because God answers in different ways. His ways are above ours. So we cannot put God in a box and say, when I pray for peace, I want God to rain peace, like rain in my life. When I'm praying for happiness and joy, I want it to rain. Sometimes God answers you in a very different way. And that does not mean He doesn't speak. It just means that we need to tune our ears closer so that we can hear when He speaks, even in ordinary situations.